knows he wants to find more success here tonight at the Absolute Grand Prix. Will Wilson in the white gi, Ice Cole Abate in the blue.
I feel like the energy picked up here at the hangar in Costa Mesa for Cole Abate, Will Wilson. Started with the double guard pull. They're both going to get a penalty and come back to the feet.
This is a clash all fans here inside the building have been waiting for. And for good reason, right? You watch the careers of both these competitors. They are just truly special competitors in all ways.
It's going to be an advantage for Will Wilson coming up from the double guard pull. Cole gets him into the closed guard.
Now, Danny, when you think about a competitor like Cole Abate, who's so multifaceted, what is the best way for Will Wilson to possibly go about shutting him down?
Well, Will Wilson did a really good job against Cole Abate's teammate, Matteo Cardona, in the final of the Europeans, getting on top with a sweep and then just doing a really good job shutting down a lot of Matteo's attacks. Of course, now he's on top coming up from a double guard pull, so he's up by the advantage. So I think trying to shut down some of Cole's really dynamic guard game is one path to victory for Will Wilson.
Cole finds that right ankle of Will Wilson. 8:40 on the clock here. Ice Cole Abate expressionless as he tries to progress deeper into this sequence. Ooh. Abate destabilizes Wilson, brings him down. Abate, control here on both the pants. Wilson's father, a former military veteran, was born in Maui, Hawaii, sharpened the tools in that state, and now looks to continue his takeover. An impressive BJJ career. But opposite one of the sport's emerging talents and young prospects, dare I say, one of the biggest opportunities for Will Wilson here tonight. Penalty placed on both competitors here for inactivity. 2 apiece, Will Wilson with the lone advantage. Abate inverting here. Wilson upping the urgency to match it. Will Wilson fighting for every inch here, Danny.
Yeah, Will Wilson still in the top position. He's on his hips, but he came up from a double guard pull. So if Cole were to come up, he would score 2 points. I think Cole's just trying to look for better grips and better leg positioning before he takes the top position.
Does get that advantage as well. Ooh. Will Wilson retying the black belt here. Will Wilson, 2026 European champion in the gi, 2021 world champ, juvenile blue belt ranks. Was able to collect a no-gi world championship that same year. 2023 purple belt world silver medalist. A decorated colored campaign for Will Wilson, but the black belt ranks, he has just beginning.
Double guard pull. We're all tied up. 2 points, 1 advantage, 3 penalties apiece. Cole comes up on top. He scores the advantage. Will has a really good deep half guard. You can see him reaching for it. Right now just attached to one of the legs, but we saw him use it throughout his European Championship campaign.
Abate elevates, sits back on that right hip. 6:10 to go. Fans inside the hangar on the edge of their seat here, Danny. Wilson
disengages, has a grip on the pant leg.
I love the urgency from Will Wilson here. Midway through this match, he has not taken his foot off the gas for 1 second opposite Abate.
Will's talked a lot recently about how since he was a young kid, his whole goal has been to develop into a black belt world champion, and Abate is very similar. Competed a ton at a young age and just really did everything he could to put himself into a position to be really successful at the black belt level.
$5:10 left in our last super final matchup of the evening. Abate with control on that right wrist. Wilson inverting here. Separation as Abate resets. Wilson trying some crafty moves. Certainly dynamic in his approach here tonight. But yet to find a meaningful opening on Abate.
You can hear Will's corner calling for him to get a better connection. Cole doing a good job breaking the connections. And maintaining good positions on top.
Wilson trying to lock down that collar. Abate has control on the wrist and the left leg. Tries to cut over. Wilson able to address it. 3:50 on the clock. Time now working against Will Wilson in his pursuit of besting ice cold Abate. Wilson dedicating a lot of time to the collar. Abate again cuts over.
Nice attempt by Abate to pass the guard. Has a good angle.
Wilson desperately moving, trying to prevent this guard pass. Real savvy work from Wilson. But a lot of deep breaths from him on bottom, Danny. Seems like that control on the left leg of Wilson has been producing a lot of success for Abate.
Will reaches under the leg.
2:30 on the clock here. Abate introducing the right knee further up into the midsection of Wilson. Danny, if you're Will Wilson, you got 2 minutes with which to work. What might be the moves that you employ?
You can hear his corner keep telling him to try to get a better connection to the leg. He almost had it there. Cole was able to escape and is now in a really good position. But I think he wants to connect to a leg and try to come up for a sweep, either via a single leg or potentially get to his deep half guard, which is one of his best sweeping positions.
Wilson and Abate. Belts on the floor. Minute 45 on the clock. Wilson now into the closed guard of Abate. Abate leads by a lone advantage with 90 seconds to go.
It's a good position for Abate on bottom in his guard, one of his best positions, and he's up by one advantage.
Wilson, short time now. Fans here in the hangar imploring him to create some magic and pull ahead. Final minute between Abate and Wilson. Will Wilson trying to rise to this occasion. Abate, great grip on that collar with the right arm. Where can Wilson find this advantage, Danny?
Wilson's going to have to try to find some sort of opening to try to get past the legs of Cole Abate and at least get an advantage to tie this up. Cole just has really good grip on the sleeve right now, has a lasso, and his guard is so high level, it's hard to get to a position where you can get an advantage for a pass attempt.
Final 15 seconds here between Cole Abate and Will Wilson. Abate briefly touching on the leg. Wilson addresses it. 10 seconds. Abate leads by an advantage. Wilson urgently, desperately trying to work, but ice cold Abate will win with that lone advantage, Danny.
Cole Abate puts on a great performance in front of his hometown crowd. He's fired up. He wins our final super fight of the 2026 IBJJF Absolute No-Gi Grand Prix.
Ice Cole Abate took on a very game and dangerous Will Wilson, an active foe here inside Orange County, but comes out victorious in the hangar.
And your winner is Cole Abate, representing AOJ.
AOJ's Cole Abate, winning like it's his middle name. Takes out Will Wilson by way of